Thank
Thank
you.
you, Yash.
Great. Hello, Rahul. How are you?
Hi, Dhanam. Good evening. I'm doing very well. Thank you. How about you?
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Great to meet you again today. It's the second time.
Thank you. Likewise.
Great. So, before we start, once again, thank you for allowing me to record this session, for viewing it at later stage. And I would also like to reiterate that this is a safe and non-judgmental zone. I'm saying on behalf of all those who are watching this session also. So feel free to share all your thoughts and feelings without any restrictions. Um, with that said, Rahul, I hope you are comfortable and are we good to start?
Yes, we are good to start, Dhanam.
Great, wonderful. So, what is that you would like to talk about today? And that is something which is most important for you that you would like to talk about within the next 45 minutes that we have together.
Dhanalakshmi, what's been bothering me is I sometimes feel that I have come to uh, come to an end of a relationship with a friend as I feel it's getting toxic. So this guy is like a junior to me in school, and we used to play basketball, all that. And after he moved out and we all moved out, we all came back to Chennai after moving here and there for work. And then he got a place for himself. And, every weekend we used to meet up, have some board games. And slowly he increased the fraternity to many people. Many people came, hung out, played games. And he also had a basketball court in his backyard. We used to play basketball. But after a point of time, I had health issues. And, it was pretty serious. I had to undergo surgeries. I had to have heavy medications, which was giving me a lot of drowsiness, a lot of hallucinations and all that. And I told him the details, but he was at that time understanding, like, take care. He came to meet me at home and all that. So I was like, yeah, great. But in the recent few days, he's been like, yeah, no, you're completely out of it. And, I want you to be committed. I'm organizing all these things. I want your commitment. I said, I can't come for certain reasons, that the health is pretty important for me. Last year was not a very good year. I had four blackouts and I had to undergo another small surgery for that. Not very serious, but I don't care. I want commitment. You're my group. If you don't come in right, if you don't come wherever I plan an event or, not just to my place, but just outside also, I want, I don't want to be in touch with you. So this kind of hit me a few days back, a week back. At that time, I also had a problem in my ear. An ear infection developed because I wear hearing aids and I pushed that aid in, I think, deep inside, and that caused a mild skin erosion. So having all this, I've told him this as well, and he is like, I don't care, whatever it is, you have to be there. So yeah, it's kind of been in my head, and I've not yet put my foot down and told him that, I want to end this, and you go your way, I go mine, because I prioritize my health first. Self-care is not selfish, and to someone who's been down to earth and, good to talk to, suddenly has changed just because he feels he's done so many things, brought so many people together. And if I don't align with his wants and his commands, he's thinking low of me. He's like kind of trolling me, trying to help pull me back. And I somewhat feel that, yeah, it's come to a place where I don't want to please him anymore. I've not done that earlier. whenever I used to go to meet him, we used to have a nice session with everyone. Everyone was there, and also met him alone. We used to go for dinner and all that. But right now, I just feel, yeah, it's better to end it because more I talk to him, the more I get irritated. I see it very, very toxic to carry on with his commands and demands and not even showing that kind of empathy, which for another person who's having these challenges and they're pulling, saying, I want a commitment, I need you to be here, I want you to be in this time, everyone is here. So I'm not going to fall for all that. And just wanted to share this because I have something to say. I have written it, but it's kind of, I mean, it's a mix of, uh, how do I say, nice and a bit harsh. Because I know if he can be harsh with me, I was thinking I also can be harsh with him. But no foul language as much as he uses, nothing in mind. But to put my foot down and tell him that this is the end, you know. So wishing you the best, and let's part ways. No more, nothing more than that. I don't want to tell him all that what he's done to me and all what he's brought to me. And again, I feel that it kind of gets me into that zone of thinking too much about it. And I also don't go about what tasks I have to do for that particular day. I start, I write that in a particular, I write that particular thought in a piece of paper, crush it and throw it away. And then I realize like finally I have let something go, but it takes a lot of time.
Hmm. Rahul, first of all, I really appreciate your vulnerability here, openly sharing about all these things and your feelings about this relationship, where I heard you talking about multiple times that it is toxic and you want to put your foot down, and the way the relationship has been. So I'm curious. What does friendship or this relationship mean to you?
So in specific with this person or in general?
Whatever comes to you.
So I would say that friendship, the way I see it, is something where it's not on the surface level where it's just a hi and bye or how are you doing, but something where there is space for sharing vulnerable stories, there's space for someone listening and not interrupting, there's someone who supports you, someone who's there to reach out or lend a shoulder to lean on. And all those times also it depends upon friendship also is cultivated more on uh, trust by understanding that okay, I have to give space to him, even though he or she is my friend, I have to give him or her that space. That independence should be there, and nothing should be forced, nothing should be imposed. So if someone calls you out and they say no, they'll be like, yeah, I adjust my time for you every time. They try to like manipulate and all that, and I don't see that as friendship because that they're not respecting my boundaries. They're crossing that and saying that I did this for you years back, and now you're saying no to me when I call you out. So that does not uh, look like or form a nice relationship in a friendship.
Hmm.
So someone who understands you and also respects you when you say no, rather than asking why are you saying no, what are you going to do? You should have that kind of space as such. None, even though it's going to be a very close friendship, there are some things which you might not even have to share. It's very, very personal, right? So only if you feel that, yes, I can share it with this person, then you go ahead and share it because you have that trust built over a long period of time, but not with everyone. So just like very few rare people who you find with whom you can be open and share.
Mm.
And those people will be like, yeah, I know Rahul has said no, and I don't have to ask him. Probably he'll come the next time when I ask him. That's it. They should be having quite a few of my friends have that thought. And that's what I really value. That's what like really makes me stay with them. They're also with me, and we have come to terms on so many things. We've had our arguments, but still, we are still like a gang of 5 people from school. We still hang out.
Mm. Rahul, you had shared about uh, prioritizing self-care, prioritizing your own health, and it is not selfish to take care. It's a very bold statement and very strong thoughts that you shared about self-care. And as you shared that, and you shared about this relationship, about friends, who a friend is, and with the aspect that you have brought to the session, what story are you telling yourself at this moment?
The story I'm telling myself is that I have uh, crossed all what I said earlier. I had not realized the. I know that okay, there is self care. I have to. Uh, there is health, and I can spend X amount of time with them or with him and head back home. But on and off, I felt that the time kept getting extended. Like just 10 more minutes, leave in 10 more minutes, leave in 15 more minutes. So I was like, okay, it's okay. I can do that. I have someone who can drop me back, but that's fine. I'm safe, safe place. But then I one day reflected upon what I was doing every week when I go to his place to hang out. I realized that all those people who were there with him, that's their lifestyle. And my lifestyle is different. Probably through all these experiences which I have gone through, that has told me something that value myself, value my time. Yes, you can spend time with those people, with that friend who's calling you, but beyond a point, you have to understand that you need to head back, you need to have your sleep on time, you need to have that routine. Once in a while, if you break it, fine, because I believe that we all stumble at some point. Some point it might not go as the way we planned, and we can't plan too much. Uh, so this realization of the lifestyle difference, the time difference. Many people, when you uh, who come to hang out at his place, they will like, yeah, it's only 11 o'clock. It's only 11 o'clock for them, but it is 11 o'clock for me. It's for me to go home to get sleep. So this guy capitalized on that, and he said that, and everyone is here. What's wrong with you? Irrespective of me telling him million times that health issues are there, I have to do this. I'm reducing my medication, so I have to ensure that I sleep at least for a minimum 8.5 hours. I don't want to go back to those heavy dosage of medications. So again, he came up saying that if you had medications, you won't be here. So like I am having that confidence that with medications, I'm coming to your place, and I also want to leave at this point of time, but you're being very dominating or being very commanding, and I feel that is suffocating.
Hmm. Is there anything processing as you are sharing that? Because I saw you kind of making uh, that move with your fingers, with your hand, as you were scratching your chin. You seem to be thinking deeply. Is there anything that you would like to add to this?
Yeah, yeah, that was actually me thinking that yes, I have been talking for a while. I've been like sharing whatever I had to say, and I did that kind of. I usually do that when I know I'm coming to the end of finishing or end of talking, and I was just thinking, like you said, you pointed out that well, saying that is there anything else that thought? So that only thought was like, coming from within was ended right now. Enough is enough.
Mm. So, as you share that, end it right now. Enough is enough. What is enough?
The stretching, the trying to tell him that whatever I've told him, the history again, uh, he doesn't seem to understand where I'm coming from, doesn't seem to respect my space, doesn't seem to uh, respect the relationship, most importantly. Nearly a decade and a half of friendship, and irrespective of all what he's done, gotten people together, and all that is fine. But when it comes to this particular specific uh, area, saying that I don't care, that especially that when you said that I don't care, I want you here at any cost, I want you here. So that's when I realized I have uh, done quite a few things there, like had a good time over there. But if this is something he's going to be dominating, I didn't ask anyone else whether is he such with you also. I didn't feel the need because I felt that this is something personal. And later, if someone else asks me what happened, why did you stop hanging out? Then I can tell them. But I felt that yes, this for me is something very much uh, important, as I find no value and no more meaning in being around with this person in my life.
Mm. So, Rahul, as you were sharing those words from him, I could see a lot of deep emotions on your face. Maybe I'm wrong, but how are you feeling as you share that?
So that's right, because these emotions, usually I write them down, usually I speak about it, I spend time reflecting it. That's what I've been doing all along. That's the outlet I had. But yeah, as we spoke today, I felt that finally I have someone to listen out to me. I can't share this with my family. I did that. I told my mom, my dad, and all that, and they were like, why are you still doing it? Why are you still doing it? You know what's important, you know what you've been through, and all that. So, like, okay, this guy must be just trying to get me back on track, but no. So, those emotions were pretty strong, and then they came out in person today, not just in paper. And most of them are negative emotions, uh, which I know I was aware about, but some were pretty much strong. I let it just be in the uh, unconscious, and now that is moved to the awareness stage. And that question which you asked had connected the enough is enough with these raw and real emotions.
Hmm. Thank you very much for trusting me and this team here and sharing this openly about whatever you have felt. And really appreciate that courage that you have taken and shared that with us. For sure, as I mentioned, um, we will keep this confidential and there won't be anything that would be discussed outside this forum. So, with that said, Rahul, what is that you would like to um, take away today from this session? It, I'm not sure whether it's going to be an action, a goal, a shift, whatever would mean a successful session for you in the next, say, 15 to 20 minutes that we have together. What would that be on this aspect?
Mm. In the next step, which I would like to do, or the takeaway from our session would be that I go and talk to him. I don't have to tell anyone else why I'm going to talk to him or who or when I'm going to talk to him. I'll go and tell him I don't like to have I don't like to have these conversations, particularly over a WhatsApp chat or a phone call, but face to face. Uh, That's what I would want to do. That's what I would want to do because if I have explained or shared saying that enough is enough and I will go and tell him in person, uh, obviously there's going to be a lot of interruptions from him, but I'm not going to give in to that. I'm not going to react, but rather just let that all go. I mean, like give a deaf ear to all that and put my statement across, put what I have to say from the bottom of my heart, and yeah, just leave. Uh, yeah, I would like to do that.
Mhm.
And most importantly, I also felt that when I'm doing that, I must stay grounded. I must not get distracted or pulled into um, some kind of behavior which I don't want, which is going to uh, have certain consequences which I don't want to later, which I don't want to experience, which I don't want my body to feel or my mind to think about later. Because the if I go too much into uh, thinking about what happened, I won't be like feeling light. I won't be feeling at peace. I won't be feeling at ease. It's just going there, talking to him, finishing it then and there, and telling myself that past is past and moving on.
Hmm. Rahul, I'm sure you understand when I say this that whatever you would like to talk to him, I'm sure this is after the session, that is after this 15, 20 minutes we are together in this session. So, what would be the outcome, or what is that you would like to take away from this session, probably to achieve uh, any of these goals?
Hmm. I know that I have the confidence. Uh, I know that I've written it down, but sometimes I felt a bit of anger and frustration coming in. I would like to rewrite that again without the anger and frustration. It's more like an internal dialogue, which is on paper, right? So, uh, without the anger and frustration, I think that's what will help me be grounded. Like I mentioned earlier, I want to put across this message, staying grounded. So anger and frustration again will make it a battle, and I don't want to hear that. I don't want to feel anything about all that. So removing those two would give me much more, I wouldn't say confidence, give me much more uh, a thought saying that yes, what you're going to say is fine. What you're going to say is is uh, it's from your heart, and what I'm going to say is also not profane. No profane language, no negative emotions. So if I could just, if you could guide me on how I could get over, even today, like in the afternoon, I thought I'm going to speak to this guy, but I could, after I finished what I wrote, I could see that there was a mix of anger and frustration in a few lines. So my takeaway will be that yes, I write it again after our session, minus the anger and frustration.
Mm. Okay. And how would you know that you have achieved this in the next 15, 20 minutes, that you will be able to write it again, minus anger and frustration?
Mm, so after a session, what I would want to do is freshen up, have some coffee. Usually when I write, I go to the terrace. I'll go to the terrace, write down what I want to say, and like I had shared that I will ensure that there is no statement which is coming from within which has the tag of anger or frustration. Uh, yeah, so if I write that down and just share it with myself, just talk about, speak it out loud, and I hear it. This is from my perspective because I don't really care about how it lands on his side, having shared all these things which had occurred earlier. So if I know that, yeah, I've written it, there is no resentful language, there is no regret, there is no anger, there is no frustration. Resentful and regret came from ending this since I said enough is enough and I'm going forward to end it. When I write it, yeah, after our session, before telling him, I'll be at a better place when I'm actually talking to him.
Mm. I really appreciate this clarity that you have, what you want to do, and that awareness that you usually go and write in terrace, you have a coffee, and the thought that you don't want any resentful language or anything that would make you regret. The language should not have anger and frustration. The kind of clarity you're having, I really appreciate how, maybe I'm putting a word here, how empathetic you are in that aspect. Although you mentioned that you don't care how it lands, but you're making sure the language is so good that you don't have to worry about how it lands. Maybe that's what I could sense from this. Very beautiful, Rahul. So my question was, by the end of this next 15, 20 minutes, how would you know that you are ready to go to terrace, have that cup of coffee, and write those statements minus anger and frustration? What would help you in the next 15 minutes for you to be ready to do that, probably, if that is what you want?
Hmm. What would help me to do that is I just have to go and do it. I hold myself responsible to do that because after sharing it verbally, after writing it, it might be different. I'm just saying, thinking
Hmm?
hypothetically.
How, as a
So,
coach and client, could we partner in the next 15 minutes and achieve that?
hmm. How can they be partnered? Okay. It's a great one. Hmm. What we can do is, I'm already in the terrace. I'm just imagining that. And I'm already writing the letter. And as I'm writing the letter, I'm talking to myself. Every line is a write, and whatever is coming from within, I'm writing it, talking it. Whatever I don't like, I'm rewriting it. Uh, and towards I'm now at the body of the body of what I want to say. And it's pretty much coming out well. What I just need to know as we partner, um, there is this something I want to say, which I had mentioned earlier, even though if it lands on him in a particular way, I'm not very bothered about that. The thing is, the word enough is enough. I want that to be there. And that should come at the last. And I want that, I'm writing that in capitals.
Hmm. Okay, maybe to put this question in a different way, uh, and while I heard you about this imagining that you are in the terrace, you are writing this, and how you're going to end that letter, enough is enough, sitting in the terrace, and that should be there in capitals. So while you are visualizing this at this moment, if I may ask you, in a scale of 1 to 10, where are you at this moment to achieve what you want? Like you said, rewriting that letter minus anger and frustration. So, in the scale, where are you currently in 1 to 10? 1 being the lowest and 10 being highest.
So I can say that I'm at 7,
Okay.
and
And yeah, sure.
I want to obviously move to a 10.
Move to a 10. Okay. Great. So, Rahul, what I'm hearing from you is you started about this relationship with your friend almost more than a decade, and you shared about your childhood relationship, and then how the friendship expanded, and now there is a bigger group, and with the health conditions that you're faced, your availability seems to be limited while the expectation of your friend is different, and that you want to say enough is enough because self-care is not selfish and that is more important for you, and you want to write this letter, and you say that to do this you are at 7 now and you want to move to 10 in the next 10 to 15 minutes that we have together. Am I right, or is there anything that I'm missing as I share that?
That's all. It's all fine, Dharan. We're
Okay,
good.
great. So, Rahul, I'm curious. You mentioned that when you mentioned about removing anger and frustration and you want to rewrite this, you said it is an internal dialogue, right? So when we say dialogue, it's an understanding that there are two people. And you also said that you want to now write it from your heart without any negative emotions. When you hear that, who is this other person where you had this dialogue and you wrote initially? And What is making you tell that you want to write it now from your heart without the negative emotions?
Great. So the person who is in a dialogue is me as such. I'm just, how do I say this? Having a conversation with myself,
Mhm.
with Rahul, and there's another Rahul who I'm conversing with. Same. Like, what do you say is that my soul or my spirit or my intuition is who I'm connecting to with this for the dialogue. And why I said from my heart is because even though whatever has happened, I have to be myself, and myself in the sense, usually I exude empathy for people, irrespective of how they have been to me or how they have, how we have transitioned in the relationship in general. So when it comes to the dialogue, yeah, it's like me and my inner voice.
Mm.
So when I talk to my inner voice, we have a great conversation about especially this topic which we are talking about today.
Mhm.
And my inner voice is saying that, yes, you have spoken to Dhanalakshmi for the past 45 minutes, and we've had that space to finally share what you have been writing in paper and throwing it away. But right now, you have a voice listening to you and helping you move forward, helping you gain that um, assurance that go ahead, do it.
Mm.
It's telling me the inner voice after a conversation or during a conversation when you ask that question, is telling me that, yeah, go ahead, do it.
Mhm.
I didn't get that earlier because I had enough is enough, but now those two lines, go ahead, do it. But I won't write that in the paper, obviously. Oh, I won't tell him when we're talking. Write that in the paper and keep it for myself.
Mhm. Beautiful, beautiful. The way you are sharing that you're able to listen to your inner voice, um, and that it says, go ahead and do it. So, what is that you are learning about yourself as you share that?
Mm, that the learning about myself is, yeah, I always have to, how do I say it? It's something that I have been reliable and trusting for a long time, my inner voice, but now it's become more stronger, more louder.
Mm.
Whenever an external situation happens, I, if I have time where I am, I reflect upon it or I come back home and reflect upon when I have the time at home, at my place, at my space. And then I realized that, yeah, I could have said or done this at that time when I was in that situation, when I was in that place, and saved so much of energy and saved so much of time for myself and the effort of traveling to and fro to that place. Yeah, so the learning for about myself is I don't have to. necessarily seek any kind of validation apart from telling myself that yes, I have it all. I know that I can go ahead and tell him, and I don't have anything or anyone stopping me because this is important, and I know if I end it, it will be more peaceful and I'll be at ease.
Mm. You mentioned I don't seek any validation, and a little earlier you also said that being myself, that is, being empathetic, irrespective of how they have been, the people around. So, as you hear that back, what is coming up to you with regards to what we are trying to achieve from this session today?
What's coming up for me is when I mention validation, is usually my inner voice, which I first uh, connect with. It's not external because I have been there. I have tried external, and it's more like more like pleasing for me. And I usually am not a people pleaser.
Mhm.
So when it comes to that validation, it's from within. I ask myself for permission. Can I go ahead with this? Just for clarity from within. Um,
Mm.
so connecting that to what we are talking today, it's uh, yeah, I've realized that yes, it's more clear for me now.
Mhm.
A deeper as we speak, it's much more clear because we couldn't I couldn't explore quite a bit of it when I was writing about it or talking to myself about it. But it's a whole lot different when there is another person listening to me and giving me the time and space to express myself freely.
Mm.
And relating that to what I wanted to accomplish in putting my foot down and telling him, it's moved me from uh, questioning, okay, I'm ready, I'm going to do it. But now it's like I'm ready. After our call today, I will reflect. I'm sorry, refresh, have my cup of coffee, write down what I have to say. This time, keep it crisp. This time, not have any kind of uh, uh, no anchor of frustration, no words that is going to instigate all that, and just connect with my inner self again before I go and talk to him about it. Just one last time, because I know I've worked on it quite a bit of time, quite a bit of effort has been put in, and this is that one last time.
Mm. So, what kind of life are you trying to create for yourself with all these information that you have shared now?
The kind of life I'm trying to create for myself is to be valuable and not available.
Mm. Mhm.
Because I know if I am valuable, and that will help me better understand the importance of or help others better understand the importance of my values. Like, say, health is a particular value for me, and time is a particular value for me. And I've seen that happen with certain people saying that, okay, we will meet earlier. We know that you have to get back at this time. So, yeah, that is something which I will anchor, not available, but valuable.
Hmm. Beautiful. And what do you think could help you anchor that for you?
Uh, Assessing the situation, the environment, what's happening around. Do I have a sense of belonging there, or am I uh, just there for the sake of it?
Hmm.
Doing a research where I am, where I'm going, and not asking many questions to others who want me to come, but go there and see if it's really valuable. Otherwise, that's also going to be that, okay, I went there, it was not valuable to me. That's the lesson I learned. I'm not going to repeat that again. I'm not going to go to the place again. Doesn't serve any value for me, and just a waste of time, effort, and I
Hmm.
don't have.
So, Rahul, we are already on top of the hour, 45 minutes over for us, the time that we had scheduled. Uh, so, what is that, or how would you like to take this forward? Do you have another 5, 10 minutes, or how would you like to move forward on this topic, or
Hmm.
anything else that you would like to talk about?
Well, nothing in particular as such. I've expressed what I want to. I've got uh, the chance to do that with you today and gain more clarity in how I want to draft my message. And I've also shared what exactly is valued for me, what is valuable, and to make myself valuable and not available. And I feel that I'm at a good place right now because a lot of things, like I said, make a difference when you do it yourself, you write it down, but a lot of things is in a different aspect when you talk to others about it. Especially today when I had this space, a change was something else.
Hmm.
When I hadn't felt that enough was okay, but the importance of available versus valuable, that was something that sprang up
Hmm.
and that hit me hard.
Hmm. So, who are you now as a result of this conversation?
Hmm. I have who am I now is a person who knows, okay, that wherever he goes, is it he seeks not, I don't seek for uh, attention. I don't seek for just being there for the sake of it, or someone has called me, I have to go there. I actually assess, okay, if I go to this place, what's going to happen? I know where they'll call me and all that. What am I going to do over there? How am I going to be valuable for the people around? Or if there's going to be loud music, if there's going to be loud, many people talking, will I really want to go in there? So that change has told me that assess myself before going there. So adding to what I had said, valuable versus available, the assessment comes before that. If it's going to be A friend's terrace, for example, okay, five, six people, fine. We talk about something, we get dinner or whatever. But going to the environment where there are 15, 20 people, not really. But that shift has told me that I prioritize myself more than the others because I'd have a list of things in my list of priority, health, timing. And if that goes out of my routine, then it's a big no.
Mm.
So I would just say that I was emotionally intelligent, but when you asked me that question, it made me realize that I had gained some emotional maturity.
Wonderful. I could see a lot of relaxation probably in your muscles, face muscles. Not sure. That's what I'm sensing here. Your very small smile there. What's happening?
Yeah, indeed, indeed, indeed. That's right, because I do feel relaxed. I do feel relaxed as so many, as much, so much has come out, and uh, it's making me feel, it's making me feel like, yeah, it's making me feel very light, much more lighter.
Mm.
And it's something where I have learned a bit more about myself, a bit more about my core values and how important they are to me and how it's a non-negotiable.
Mm. Beautiful. So you mentioned that you were at 7 when we were talking about this topic earlier, and you wanted to move at 10. Where do you think you are on this aspect now?
Mm, I would like to say 10,
Hmm. Great.
but after I go and talk to him, that would be 10.
Mm. Beautiful. Uh, I really want to appreciate the efforts you have taken with yourself today, the way the awareness you shared, understanding how much valuable means and not available, those core values, and how you are going to be valuable and not just be available, assessing yourself before going out. That was all wonderful awareness that you shared. And so, what are the next steps from this new awareness with regards to the session outcome that we had planned? Although you say that you wanted to say that the rating scale is at 10, you also mentioned about rewriting minus anger and frustration. So, what are the next steps from this awareness?
The next step with this particular person who I want to end the relationship is very, very clear. Uh, I will do my homework on writing what I want to say, practice it once with myself, and go and tell it to him. And with any other person who, irrespective of being empathetic, not me, that person who's empathetic, who understands, but I'll still maintain my valuability and not availability. So I would tell them that this space is not for me. There's loud music. I wear hearing aids. I won't enjoy the space. Or there are 15, 20 people meeting for dinner. Again, I would come for just half an hour or 1 hour, see you guys and move out because I can't converse in a space which is uh, loud. Don't consider me as being rude, but this is my reality. This is my life right now. I'm living with it.
Beautiful. And You've been mentioning again and again my valuability, which is the and your core values that you have recognized now. And I also recollect earlier you mentioned taking self-care is not selfish, and that is your value. With that said, given a situation, because you mentioned this relationship had been more than a decade, so and the way you shared, I'm sensing more deeper meaning to that relationship. If you are reminded about this relationship at some point after probably you are communicating to him or any point of time, what would this new awareness of yours, uh, how would it support you or not support you?
Hmm. I would actually laugh over it. Like, yeah, I had this person in my life for 15 years. We had good times, and then later this person changed. And I tried to understand myself and put myself in his shoes. I did what I wanted to make him happy. But then the value struck me. My core value struck me and told me that Rahul, he's crossed your boundaries and you're trying to please him by crossing yours. What are you doing? So there's going to be like a nice lesson learned, a bit of mix of humor and how would I say it? What's the right word? Humor and not able to find that word. I'll be laughing over it. I'll be like pretty much like
Great. You have a wonderful smile. I love that smile of yours, Rahul, and the way you communicated what you would do. Beautiful. Really appreciate that awareness here, Rahul. And I know we've already exceeded our time by 10 minutes. So, is there anything that you would like to talk about, or how would we go forward on this?
no, I'm really at a good space, Tanam. Thank you so much for your time and asking me those questions, which actually brought out so much. So really thankful for that.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for trusting me and partnering with me on this. So, is it a good time to close this session?
Yes, we're at a good time to close the session.
Thank you.
Thank you once again.
Thank you, Rahul.